guess what?
What's that?
I've been asking people around and stuff. See, there was an earthquake here about a year ago.
Yeah. And that nobody remembers?
Nobody remembers.
Oh, so really? Oh, wow.
That must be misremembering that the ground was moving.
Yeah.
I must be misremembering that the ground was moving there.
So, nobody remembers? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Did you see your hometown?
Yeah, they give those photographs. You fucking kidding me, bud? Did you see the ones they sent back to you? Did you see the purple? You see the purple sign?
Yeah, no, I told you I'm busy.
What? You didn't look? I see some back. The purple sign.
No, I don't glue my cell phone with super glue to my nose like you do. I don't do that.
Well, it takes you 2 seconds to look at it. 2 seconds.
When I go to the store, I leave the phone at home.
Wait.
Am I weird?
Yeah. You'll love this. Wait, hold on a second. So guess what? I got to remember I told you there was a Kirk, Colorado that came out of nowhere. Wait, I got to tell you a story.
No.
Kirk, Colorado came out of nowhere. You're not going to believe this. They called him that.
Every house is purple.
I know, right? It's all purple. I know. You have proof.
Every house is purple.
Isn't that crazy shit? The state's going the state's turning purple, man. Okay, stay out of Colorado. No, seriously. Okay, remember I told you about there's a Kirk, Colorado, grew up, and the only thing that came close because I was in 5th grade, I looked for a name that had my first initial K. So all I could find was Kit Carson County, right? So I sent him a letter when I was in 5th grade, and they sent a bunch of shit about Kit Carson County and all that. Remember I told you the story? So much. Yeah, there is no Kirk, Colorado. Even my mother is a native. She grew up in Colorado. Wait. Remember I told you there's a town called Kirk, Colorado now, right? So I called him again today. Remember I told you I called him about 2 years ago, talked to some guy that had a butcher shop there, right? So I called again today. Kid you not. I knew it was going to happen. I called the post office. I said, shit, they've been there for a while. Yeah, right? I get this young gal. Shit, I said, and you know what's going to happen? You know how they always just started working there and can't give the history? Or there's someone in the store that they can't. Yeah. So I call her, and I talked to this young lady. She goes, I said, I grew up in Colorado. I don't ever remember me being in Kirk, Colorado. You got to hear the recording. I recorded, bud. I did a voice recording. So I said, have you ever heard of a Kirk, Colorado? I said, never heard of Kirk, Colorado. I said, I grew up in Colorado. She goes, I said, how long have you been there? She goes, well, I've only been here a short time. They want to answer the detail. I said, well, I said, I'm not trying to pry. I don't want to be. I said, I never heard about this town. Seriously. She goes, well, I've only been here for a couple months. And I said, oh, really? I said, has anybody in the post office been there longer, like, a year or two? And she goes, no, I don't know. She goes, I'm seriously. The fucking story was ridiculous. I'm like, I said, so tell me about Kirk, Colorado. You like it? She goes, I said, it's only got like 500 people or something, right? And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, she goes, you know more about the history of Kirk than I do. She goes, I told you, I just moved here. See, I'm telling you cannot. But it's okay. God's real, and God plays this game with you. He goes, I'm gonna hide this little Easter egg over here, Kirk, and you know what I mean. He's played games with you, but it's cool, and it's weird.
My turn.
Your turn. Kirk, Colorado exists now.
I haven't told you this one. I haven't told you this one.
All right.
Okay, listen. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to Washington to visit, right?
Yeah.
Washington State. So I'm going to take the long way because I want to see stuff that I haven't seen before. So I'm going to get off the main highway.
You can take the long way home.
Yeah. So I got to see what's there to see. So then I go, okay. So now I told you about this though. Trout Lake, Washington State. Got it?
Wait, Trout Lake, Washington State.
Trout Lake, Washington.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, now it's not a real big town, little tiny town.
Okay.
Now they're every day in that town there's a mountain right there.
There's a what?
A mountain.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Mount Adams. Okay, so now there's a ranch that's you can find online if you looked it up right now. It's ECTI, E-C-T-I Ranch.
Yeah.
Now, it's the most popular thing in town. It's like this big ranch, this guy. Yeah. And it's sort of like a retreat place, where people come from all over the world.
Oh, I see.
Got it?
Gotcha.
Okay. Got it?
Right.
Now listen, UFOs. Now, wait, I'm reading this. Okay. Wikipedia. Okay. I'm going, okay, what is this little town? Okay, so I go, okay, well, this ranch, yeah, sure. And then it's like, then I'm reading, and it goes, yeah, and people come from all over the world because every day and every night, thousands of UFOs and orbs fly around here.
Me. Oh,
now, okay, now
that's hilarious. Yeah, listening.
It gets better.
It's better than that, right? Okay, how could it get better?
So it gets better. So then I go there, and I whip into town. You can just see me, couldn't you?
Oh, he comes rolling.
So I'm going into town, and there's the one big gas station. And now the guy is old, and he's lived there all of his life, right? And I say, I heard about this Ecti Ranch and stuff. And then he goes, yeah, it's here. It's up the road here. It's up the road that way.
Okay, that
and
way.
I said, oh, okay. You know, I heard about you guys, all these orbs.
Oh, yeah, orbs, yeah.
So I heard about all the orbs, and you know what he said?
What did he say?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You never heard of an orb. Like, the orbs are new in themselves, fact.
For the last 100 years, there's been a lot of orbs, and he looked at me and he goes,
like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've never heard about them. Never have. And I go, Ecti Ranch is like world famous.
For orbs. Yeah. What's wrong,
He goes, well, never heard of any orbs flying around here.
What's an orb?
Well, there's UFOs and orbs all over the place. Yeah. It's like they live.
Yeah, right.
It's like I'm there. I'm standing in front of the guy.
Okay.
And he's like, it's one of them. He's awake. I mean, I'm standing there.
Yeah, weird.
And then I go to one big giant store in town. Same thing.
Oh,
we don't know anything about orbs.
Yeah, what are you talking
and
about,
I go,
man?
Look, it's got YouTube videos. People come in from all over the world here.
See your orbs.
And you don't know about these things? And so they're like, no.
No.
And I go, well, shit. Well, I'm going to be here a couple days. I want to see some of these orbs. And then the girl's like, good luck.
Good luck.
I'm like, all right, well, anyway, so then, now this is me, you know. So I get a good vantage spot, and I have a video camera. And so I see this, you know how you see the little light coming across the sky, you know, like it's little light, you know, you know, at night, you know, like at night. You think there's satellites, but they're not. Okay, so anyway, but you see the little light that's goes across the night sky? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Little tiny lights.
No, I've never seen those little tiny lights.
What? You haven't? Okay, well, anyway, so I see this little tiny white light coming across the sky. And it's getting closer and closer, and I'm like videotaping it. And I go, okay, that's one of those lights, probably a satellite. You know, like, listen to me. Okay, I'm like Matt. I have to talk in the language of this world. So here's this satellite. It's not a satellite. But anyway, so I go, here comes the satellite. Wow. And I go, okay, so I'm videotaping. You could hear me. You know, I'm holding up the camera. And I said, now, I'll tell you, man, if that thing changes direction or anything, and then I go, oh, shit! And the fucking thing went straight down and then straight up. What? And I mean at light speed. Sure. And I was like, whoa!
What the hell's happening?
I recorded it.
Oh,
I recorded it. And it was flying along, real slow. And then all of a sudden it went straight down and then straight up. And I was like, damn. And then I saw 50 orbs. 50 floating in front of my face. 50 orbs.
50 orbs?
Okay, look up this right now.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay, but then I got to tell you something if you're done.
ECTI Ranch orbs.
Oh, yeah, I did. I looked at the other day after you told me. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, and then I also looked up that crop circle thing you told me to do as well.
Out their hands? Did you see the people reaching up and touching them?
Yeah, I did.
I did that.
And what did you do?
I did that.
That's when you turned into an alien?
So anyway, then this guy goes, I've never heard about these orbs. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I've lived here all my life. And I'm like, oh, yeah, but this is world famous. He goes, well, I know about the ranch.
Yeah, but
and I said, yeah, it's like this spiritual retreat place. And I was just up to the road here. But the deal is they photograph and videotape orbs there every day. And he's like, in the summer, because it's really cold. It's high elevation.
When you come down to local like that? Because
Well,
let me tell you about let me tell you about Lost Beach.
Like
Remember?
It's like they live movie.
You remember?
Well, I've been telling people.
I wonder what happens. Wait. Hold on. What happens to people? Let me tell you a story like that. There was, I told you there was a guy. It's called Shelter Island. He's out fishing on a Saturday, right? So I get on my vehicle and I go up to him and ask him a question. I said, I just talked to him, because he's out there fishing. I asked him what kind of fish he's fishing. So anyway, I go up there and I said, hey, so I started talking about a great time, nice guy, right? And then, because he lived there, so how long you lived there? He goes, oh, I lived here my entire life. This guy is like, he's like 62, right? So he's, the entire area. He goes, oh, I know it. I said, how much do you know the area? Oh, everything. And I said, okay. And so I started, so he says, so fishing. So I start to wrap up. I'm like, well, you have a good time fishing. But I said, I'm going to Laws Beach. And he looks at me, he goes, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to Laws Beach. He goes, what, Laws Beach? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, there's no Laws Beach. I said, yeah, there is. I said, it's right north of Mission Beach. He's like, he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, I know you're not from here. He goes, there's no Laws Beach. I said, sir? I said, there is. And I heard it's in Mandela Effect. I'm kidding. He goes, I said, you never been there? He goes, I would know if there's a Laws Beach. And I didn't want to get argued. I'm like sitting there going, I said, well, it's Laws Beach. And he goes, well, how do you spell it? I said, Laws. And he sits there and he goes, I've never heard of it. And I'm like, well, I said, that's where I'm headed. I'm serious. You can't convince, like, this guy can't, or their heads are like, they just think you're stupid. Or so they're like, I'm serious. He thought I was just this guy would have known. I'm not kidding you. He's fished there. He's lived his entire life. And so you got this new beach. I bet you wonder on, later on, like it makes you wonder, like, if, like, this was like a year ago. If you didn't hear about Laws Beach, he's probably going, what in the F is fucking happening, man? He said, where the hell am I, man? I'm serious, because think about that. Because he was even looking at me, scratching his head, like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
It's Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Like you tell this guy orbs, and probably another tourist comes by and says, hey, where's these orbs that keep pointing the direction? And the guy's like, what the hell's happening, man?
Yeah, he goes, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, it's not like you're hearing about Twilight Zone episodes.
Yeah, you're living the damn thing.
It's like you're in it. And you're standing there and you're looking at the person in the eye.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, but it's been here a long, long time.
That is funny. I know. And I'm like, which was lost their mind, you or me, but
my turn.
Okay, then now you tell you something else.
My turn.
Are you right?
So I meet this girl.
Yeah.
So she lives up in Montana. So I'm just like, okay, so now she's about middle age, 30, 40. Okay, so she's about, Shelley. I remember her last name, her first name is Shelley. So I'm headed west, headed east. So I'm going to stop in and see Shelley.
Mm-hmm.
So I stop at her house, and I go, your town here is pretty neat. I guess you guys have underground stores, like there's underground. Wait a minute. They're old, and the whole town burned down, and so they built this big city underground.
Whoa, yeah.
And I go, so I want to see that while I'm here. And then she looked at me and goes, well, I think I heard about that, but I've never really. She was born and raised there.
Okay.
And then I'm like, she said, well, I've heard about it, but I've never really gone. I never went. I never did go. I never did go. No, wait. And I go, what? I go, you've lived here all your life and you've never gone out to underground city? And she goes, no. And she goes, I just kind of heard about it a little bit. And I'm like, well, let's go.
Okay.
And so we went to the frickin' place, and it was like $5 or something to walk through, little tour thing. And she goes, wow, I've never really seen this. This is pretty neat. And I'm like, and you lived, and you're 40 years old, and you've lived here all your life.
Yeah, it's weird.
There was like stores. Underground.
Crazy stuff.
It was just like really nuts. It's called, I'm serious, Havre, it's Haver, it's a French name. If you look up Havre, Montana, underground town, you'll see it. You'll see it. I have pictures of it. And now here's one more real quick about Ocean. Now I haven't called her up yet. Remember, that's my future ex-wife.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so Ocean and I, about 10 years ago or so, we're going to go to Texas. So she jumps in the car. I think I told you. We made it all the way to frickin' Albuquerque, and then she frickin' getting nervous as shit. And then she called her mom, and then I talked to her mother. I go, why is Ocean freaking out? And she goes, Raleigh, she's never left the city limits all of her life.
Whoa,
she was 30 years old.
That's crazy.
And she never left the city limits in her life.
Out of her mind, isn't it? Yeah.
And I said, she's never been out of town.
That's ridiculous.
I said, so when we got on the highway,
she's probably like, where the hell are we going? She's
freaking out.
Yeah.
Because she'd never been out of the town.
I knew the lady had never been. She'd been a little bit out of Chicago about 3 years ago, like that. She came out and visited me in college. She only lasted a day. She did that. She freaked out. I'm not kidding you. She drove out there, and we were going to have a spiritual talk. And so she gets to my house. She was there about 3 hours, and she was going to stay at my mother's house. And she loses her damn mind, and she hadn't slept in 2 days. It took her 2 days. She drove solid from Chicago. It's a horrifying story, but I feel bad about this.
Oh.
You got to hear this one. It is awful. It's awful. Even when my friends in Longmont, Angel, and another one in Idaho, she said she had to leave Chicago. She said because she said she had to get out. So they said go see Kirk in Colorado. It can help you, right? Oh my God, what a nightmare. So because I didn't really want her coming, but anyway, so she gets on money, gets in a car, and throws in 2 dogs with her. I'm heading on a story. It's horrible. No, one dog, right? So she drives 2 days solid, gets to my house about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and she's out of her mind, exhausted. I knew it, right? And she'd been smoking marijuana and everything. I said, you got to quit that damn marijuana. It is a nightmare. It was like a speed marijuana. It was laced or something. And she almost drove over a curb when we went to, we went and ate real quick at a local restaurant downtown town. Well, anyway, it was a story. So and then she starts freaking out like that. She just like starts losing her mind. She goes, well, I don't know what I'm doing in Colorado. And I said, well, you can go back tomorrow. I said, go spend the night at my mother's house.
Yeah.
Even my mother talked to her on the phone. I said, she's going to come stay with you, right? And she goes, no, I'm leaving immediately. It gets bad, but oh my God.
Really?
So I said, call us when you get back to Chicago. Even her mother, her mother had called her when I was talking, when she was driving back to my house even to drop me off. And then she gets off, pulls outside the road, and they're talking about something. I said, what's going on? She said, well, her mother said that, she goes, my mother and my dad, I guess the stepdad said that I need to come home immediately and all this. Well, she said, and I said, well, you should then. I said, wait till you're tired, you can drive again. I said, you are not in a condition. I begged her. So
you know what that sounds like?
What? That's what happens.
Like
it's horrifying, the story.
The 13th floor movie.
Yeah. Oh, it does?
Sounds like the 13th
floor. Oh, it gets worse, so guess what happens?
It's like she goes to the edge of town.
Yeah.
And then she leaves the Matrix.
Yeah.
She leaves the Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix, yeah.
Now wait a minute.
Wait, let me finish the story. I'm not done. Let me finish the dang story. I got to hear the rest of the story.
Okay, all right.
So she drops me off my house, and she's adamant. I said, listen to me. You at least sleep in the damn car or something. I said, do not do this. She takes off driving, right? And guess what? So I told her to call me on the way to Chicago. Don't hear for 5 days. I call on her phone. Nobody answers.
Oh, no.
I finally, this is like on a Monday. I hear she answered the phone on Friday, and I said, oh, my God, are you all right? She goes, yeah. She goes, I'm in the hospital. I said, what? She goes,
God.
I damn near died. She goes, I wrecked my car. My dog died, and she said because that dog meant everything to her, and she had her name. She called it like Michelangelo, like even Christian. She goes, I damn near died, and she goes, I won't be able to. She goes, I've broken most of my bones. I won't be able to walk. They said for 6 months. Yeah, she goes, I'm paralyzed for 6 months. They said they think I can walk, but they're not sure. She goes, I got 6 months, and I said, you're kidding me. And she goes, no, and she wrecked like somewhere, I can't even remember, she didn't make it all the way to Michigan, somewhere like halfway there, I can't even remember, but anyway, so she goes, I said, well, I need help. She goes, Kirk, she goes, no offense, she goes, I have to drop this spiritual thing and everything. She goes, I have got to figure out what's going on, and she goes, I don't know what to do, and she's like, I don't even, Oh, it's horrible, but I felt guilty because I couldn't stop her, and she damn near died. But then I don't know if she was paralyzed or what in the end of the story. But anyway, so Angel and Brett is the other two ladies, and I told them because they're trying to get a hold of her too, and they said what happened to her? I said, oh my God, I said she's in the damn hospital. I told them the story. They said, you got to be kidding me. They said that she actually, I gave her, that's where I made a mistake. She said I need more gas money, and I only gave her $50, and she had actually had squandered some money out of Angel. Yeah, somehow Angel sent her more money to get her back home. And yeah, I gave her $50 in gas myself, only because she didn't have enough to make it. And I should have said, but she probably would have got it anyway. But can you believe that story? She and her dog, oh my God, she said, my dog's dead, Kirk. She goes, I am crying about my dog.
Hey, I still have her picture.
Anyway,
if I can get a hold of my
true damn story, bud.
If I can get my old computer fired up.
Yeah.
I got a picture on disc of this girl, Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy.
Yeah.
Now this is not funny. This is very, very serious. Now I might have mentioned this story to you. Okay, so I meet this girl, Dorothy. And then she's just like, she's okay, but she's kind of depressed, and then she's going kind of in a bad way, not a street person, but real nice dress, kind of nice, just nice. Dorothy, Dot. She goes, I go by Dot. You call me Dot. And I said, well, Dorothy, what are you doing?
Mad TV? You see Dot on Mad TV? I'm sorry, she's hilarious. Dot's this girl that worships Jesus. Oh, you see Dot on Mad TV? Go ahead.
This is not funny at all.
I know, but Dot is funny. She's on Mad TV.
I said, well, Dorothy, what do you got going? And she goes, well, I'm fighting with my boyfriend and stuff. And I go, well, why don't we do this? I got Cheryl's just wonderful, and you can spend the night at our place. You just spend the night. You're in danger. Something's going on with you and your boyfriend, or something's weird.
Okay, yeah.
And I said, okay, so I'll tell you what, we'll feed you pizza. And she goes, well, I don't have any of my clothes. And I go, well, good, Cheryl's got clothes.
Okay.
I said, we'll give you whatever you need. And then so she was just exhausted, tired. Now, I don't think drugs like bad, but there might have been drugs, right? Maybe. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, like maybe. But she looked good. She looked good.
Yeah.
And then so I'm like, okay, hey, Cheryl, this is Dorothy, and she's in trouble, and we're gonna feed her pizza and give her a few clothes, and she can just sleep in our beds, and get some rest because she hasn't slept a while, and she's shook up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything's good. So we get her all fixed up,
so you think.
And then she talks to, she's all good. She's in good shape, got plenty of rest, gave her good food. Got a few clothes, went by some girlfriend's house and got some little things or something, and then took her to her house. All right. So now, about less than a month, it was like about a week or two goes by, and then you're watching the news, and there's her picture. She jumped off a 13-story building and committed suicide a week later. And I was like, Cheryl, this is that girl. She was only like 25. Can you believe it? And can you see how I would look at that? Can you see me watching TV?
Yeah.
Can you see me sitting there? And there's Dorothy. It said, a young lady committed suicide by jumping off one of the buildings downtown.
That's terrible.
And I went, God.
Oh, crap.
I go, Cheryl, this is that girl.
Shit.
I couldn't believe it.
You can't help them all, bro. That's the thing. We do the best we can. I mean, like even her, I tried the best I could to help her, and she was going through struggles in Chicago. That's the thing is, she had a really good job. Even when she left for Colorado, I started trying to say, "Are you sure she was leaving?" Because I'm done. They're treating my garbage. So I'm like, "Well," I said, "You're gonna lose your job." She goes, "No, they approved me to leave." I mean, oh my God, it's horrible.
I worked with those guys from New York City. They've never been out of their.
That's her, Chicago. She's never been out of her realm of.
They didn't have cars. They didn't have cars. They never leave like Manhattan or like the Queens.
Yeah.
They never leave Queens ever.
Yeah, that's true.
They have taxis.
Yeah.
They ride around in taxis and they just live.
Did you know though what you just said though? I talked.
Weird.
When I was I grew up. The guy was like Welcome Matt Carter. He actually worked in was Brooklyn, right, as a teacher for a while, and he moved to Montrose, and he was telling us he worked in the high school, and he said you would not believe. He said it's so depressing because what you said. He said that a lot of those kids. He said that they will live their entire lives only knowing a 10-block radius. They'll never go beyond that. I said what? And he's telling the whole class. He goes, you understand that their parents even tell them they said that they don't even give them faith or hope, or they'll say you'll never go out in the rest of this world or ever accomplish anything. You just got to learn to live like we did. You just stay in here and get a job here within the 10-block radius, and there's nothing out there to see anyway. So just he said they just destroyed those kids because they didn't realize there's so much more to the world. That he said and that's what his thing was. He said you take away somebody's hope or faith, like even religion. He said you just destroyed them. He didn't talk about religion. He goes they never had any faith. They didn't because he said those kids would grow up and just repeat what their parents rinse and repeat. I've never gone beyond 10 blocks. I was like, holy crap. Could you imagine, like you said? Never 10-block radius. Jeez.
Horrible. The guys that I was in the service with in my shop, about 3 or 4 of them, it was like Welcome Back, Kotter. The movie?
Yeah. Welcome Back, Kotter. Yeah,
Like they're in the city.
Yeah.
And that's where they are.
Oh, yeah.
They don't ever leave.
They never leave. No, they don't, ever.
I would show pictures of Idaho and streams and like mountains and stuff, and they'd say, "What the hell?" They go, "Wow,
yeah."
Look at that.
But you got to remember one thing, though, brother. Go ahead.
They go, "Is that a horse?" I'm like, they go, "Is there Indians there?" And I said, "Well, yeah."
You got to remember one thing, though, that it happens in small towns. I grew up in Montrose, and there were kids that I graduated that never left that small town. I'm not kidding you. They go further out though. They travel to other towns around there. They get around. Yeah, they'd never ever leave. Never been on the state.
When were you on the highway?
Ever.
Road trip. I mean, this can be fun.
Yeah, she ever goes. Never.
We were going down to San Antonio.
Small town, same story.
And then we were going down to San Antonio, and then I said, "When's the last time that you took a road trip?" And she goes, "Well, I only took one." She's 35 or 40. She's 35 years old.
Yeah.
And then I said, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, I went and saw a relative in Missouri. I took a bus."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
"Wow, that's crazy."
And then where else road trip? This is a road trip. We're on a road trip. By the time we got to Albuquerque, she was having a nervous breakdown, and I said, "Here's the bus money. You get on the bus, and then there you go. You go back to work."
You know what's okay? Well, that's what blows my mind. But like I said, it happens in small towns too. Because some of them are left, but they'll venture out further than people in New York City. But it's like they live in this damn prison. But I know there's some that just never left. And that's where I don't know about you. The first thing when I was about 2 years out of high school, I said I have got to get the hell out of a small town. I'm going to die in this damn thing. And so I worked my butt off. Trying to find ways. That's what eventually went to college because I said I got to get out of a small town. I mean, I was watching myself rot. I mean, half my friends, some in the military like you and others had gone out there, and I said, man, I have got to get out of this place. I want to see what the rest of this world has in it, right? So, but I mean, kidding you, it was all, and everyone that stayed, I hate to tell you, everyone that stayed, it was a nightmare. I don't know if there's something, it's not when if you do get out and venture that role, but it was worse for them. Everyone I knew, it was horrible, locked down, terrible marriages and divorces. So people think small town, those marriages last. Oh, no, it can be worse. Every damn one of them got divorces. Some of them they're not being a damn disaster. Just a damn disaster. Beyond that,
what made me sick when I was driving across country and I'd stop in a little town in Kansas or something. And I asked the girl, I said, "Well, what is this up ahead here? What's 100 miles down the road?" She goes, "I don't know."
I don't know. Oh my God.
And I'm like, this little town like Erie, frickin', but this is like hometown Missouri.
You know what you said?
And I just looked at her and I go, wow. I go, you not ever been out of town?
You know what?
She's like, no. And these are little farm girls. These are little farm girls that grew up in these farms.
Yeah. Do you know what?
In the middle of frickin' Iowa.
Yes.
And what the hell is there? Nothing. Nothing is there.
I get it.
There's nothing there. There is nothing there. And the wind was blowing sideways at 50 miles an hour. And I looked at her and I go, does the wind blow like this often? And she goes, all the time. And I didn't I was like, man, I must be in frickin', where am I? Like we were talking Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I go, this is like Kansas.
Well, you know what?
The Wizard of Oz.
You know what?
I go, this is scary.
You know what used to blow my mind is this had happened twice. That when I was in San Diego, that this happened twice. One guy was about 26 years of age. The other one was about, I don't know, 28. Two guys, same story, both of them. One of them I said, hey, we're just chatting. I said, so what are you doing this weekend? He said, I don't know, I might hang out and relax at home or something. I said, yeah. I said, well, I said, I'm hitting the beach. And I said, do you ever go to the beach? He goes, I only went there once. I said, what do you mean? I'm right. I mean, you're talking about, it's freaking like 10 minutes away from where we're at, where, I'm like, cause I met him at YMCA. I said, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, I think I went there when I was about like 8. And I said, he goes, beach just doesn't have anything. He goes, this doesn't appeal to me. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, it's just water and sand. And I said, Bud, are you kidding me? He goes, I said, so you've never been to the beach since then? He goes, no, I went once when I was 8. And I was like, you are kidding me, Bud. That is right in your damn backyard, and people travel around the world to see the damn thing. La Jolla, the sea lions.
Wait a minute. Back to Shelley.
Yeah.
Back to Shelley in Montana.
Yeah.
So she goes, well, I go, what are we going to do? I was going to be there for a day or two,
Yeah.
And then I said, well, she goes, my brother has a boat. We can go to the lake. And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, that's what we do. We go to the lake. And I go, what is it? And it was a reservoir with nothing. There was just a big deserty frickin' nothing there. And then he goes, yeah, my brother's got a big giant boat. And I go, well, no thanks.
Jeez, like no thanks.
I tell you what, Shelley, she goes, and then her cat, anyway, she goes, you can stay if you want. And I go, no, I just want to get going.
Trying to be polite about it, yeah.
It was like this little tiny town, Havre.
Oh my God, yeah.
Havre on Highway 2 up by Canada. And I'm like, they don't live. They're like,
weird?
NPC.
They're NPCs. They got to be NPCs. How could you not want to do so?
Well, how am I going to sleep when I didn't see your cat? Do you know why?
Why?
The cat never came out from under the bed.
NPC cat too? Wait. Can pets be NPCs? They can, right?
I guess.
NPC cats and dogs? That's probably true.
If you get down on your hands and knees, you can look under the bed, and there's my cat.
Oh my God, my NPC cat.
Well, there's a cat. What's
kitty.
the cat's name? It's Mittens. And I go, well, there's Mittens. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And the cat's looking at me. And then she goes, and you can just, if you're exhausted, I was exhausted, I was just on a road trip. She goes, you can spend the night. You can just stay here if you'd like. And I go, well,
you know what? Oh yeah.
I keep going, and I never talked to her again because it scared me.
She probably NBC. That's
it was like scary. It was like this little town population. She never leaves town. All she does is she was a pretty girl.
Yeah.
All she did was go to the lake with her brother in this big boat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wait, let me tell you another story though. That happens in Colorado where you have people that live their entire lives and they never gone to the mountains and snow or seen a ski resort. I mean, you don't have to ski, but they never try. Are you kidding me? How the hell is that possible?
Wait. So this guy
lived
near this beach where they have this really nice beach that's, and then he said, I'm going to go hang out at the house, but he said, I've never been there. And he lived there all his life, and there was a little beach that was just out of town. But see, because the 13th floor, when they reach the city limits, that's the Matrix. That's
so
where
it's
the
kind of
line
stuck.
is.
It's glitchy.
They can't leave. They can't. It's like Hotel California.
Oh, I see. They can't leave.
You
That
can
makes
check
sense.
in. You can check in, but you can never leave.
You can't check out. Yeah.
Oh, my God. And it's real. But these are real people.
Well, Boulder, Colorado, what you just said, and it sounds crazy. There is a story about Boulder, Colorado, where it's a famous, touristy town. It's the most well-known thing around Denver, right? Ritzy and stuff. Well, anyway, there is a story that even the Native Americans, that they said when white men came, they took the land from them, from Boulder, and it's a beautiful area. God dang, it's beautiful, right? Well, anyway, he said, I'm going to curse you that once you enter Boulder, you'll never be able to leave. And that curse like that, Hotel California, yes. And people leave though, but that was the curse they said for years, was that he cursed the entire area that once you enter Boulder, you can't leave. Yeah, you'll never always come back.
No, wait.
A Native American in Cameron.
Say it again. The Boulder, Colorado area.
Boulder, Colorado, yes. The whole Boulder, the city of Boulder, Colorado. It's a beautiful area, right? They said there was a Native American that it was back almost about 100 years ago, right? That when white men came, they took the land from them, his people. They're the Arapahoes. There's a river called the Arapahoe, and he was a chief, and he got mad about it, and he said, I'm going to curse you forever, you white men in this valleys. Whoever enter here will never, ever leave. If they leave, they'll always want to come back. And they said you always have to come back here as a curse, like Hotel California. Now, there's a lot of Boulderites have left over the years, So, I never lived there, but there is my mother's, like a father to me, and because he placed when my dad died, and it's kind of like your husband not married. He has never ever left Boulder County, and it's and his sister did. It's kind of a true story. You die there, he never left. I don't know. Maybe the curse is real.
When I first found out about, I was talking about spooky stuff with this guy, and he got shaked. He was in a cold sweat.
Yeah.
And I was in
cold sweat?
He was standing there in a cold sweat. He goes, well, what that sounds like is when, his brother and him were going hunting, and they were warned. Yeah. They said, there's a Indian burial ground up here, and then somewhere. They didn't know where it was. And it said, you want to stay out of there. And then, so he said they were walking along. I told you this. And then the wind was blowing. He said there was birds chirping and frickin' they could just say everything's good, right? Yeah. And so they're just walking up this trail. And then he goes, at one point, all of a sudden, all sound went dead.
Oh, God. I've been in a situation like that.
I can see the trees blowing, but I can hear the wind. He goes, my brother and I looked at each other, frickin' big wide-eyed, frickin' scared as hell, ran back to the truck, and got the hell out of there.
I have it. Oh, my God. I have so many stories I could tell you like that. Okay. I was, my son Kyler and Ryan, one was 9 and one was like 7. And I knew a fishing hole that I found through satellite and stuff that was outside of Erie, and it's called the South Platte, and it had this dam there. Oh, my God. I was catching catfish the size of dogs. This place is, and fish. This place is amazing, right? But here, I got to tell you, they're huge. I mean, huge, like even a lake trout. I mean, God darn, these things are like, 22 inches long. So nobody knew about it. But here's the thing: you had to hike across this guy's property. I wasn't bringing there was a road though, so I wasn't trying to break the law, because he has property. So there's a dirt road that went in there, but you got to realize that every tree in there was dead. I'm not kidding you. I mean, you imagine like a dead forest. I shit you not. You had to hike in there for dark, even in the daytime. You're walking in this dark forest like a goddamn Wizard of Oz. I'm looking around scared out of my mind myself, right? So we had to walk in with our fishing poles and our tackle boxes, right? Well, I got a story about this. You're gonna love this shit, man, because it's a true story. So Kyle and I, we're out there fishing, having a great time, man. We're catching huge damn fish, and we're just catching release, right? And I caught one. They always snap your line. I mean, I could buy the most expensive line because you have oxygen near those dams where it comes off. They have this dam, right? And this is a big river. So we had this great thing. All of a sudden, I looked behind this little cove, like little hole in the dirt, and I said it's getting it's summertime, but it's starting to get a little dark, just like dusk, it's still got and so anyway, so I looked in this little cubby hole thing. There was like a skull there, And I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the hell is that skull doing? And I couldn't tell if it was an animal or a human. And so Kyler and my sons, they're 9 and 7, they look in the hole and they said, oh, God, Dad, there's a damn skull. And so I pulled it out of there. And I couldn't tell what it was. It was like some kind of damn animal with a big, it wasn't a dog. It was like I thought like a raccoon or something. I couldn't figure it out, right? Because I'm not a skull identifier, right? I get more of the story, right? So we start walking through this forest, right? Because it's already getting like dusty. All of a sudden we hear this damn banging like in the mine shaft. I mean, seriously, like I'm not kidding. It's weird. It hears boom, 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 like on a piece of metal and like tied to a rock. And I look at my son and said, shit, quiet guys. I said, what the hell's happening? Because we had to walk through this forest to get back to the road and boom. And then we'd stop, and when we stop, it'd stop. And I'm like, holy shit, guys. I'm like, something's up here. I said, there is a mine shaft, because I know the sound of sound coming out of a damn mine shaft. Yeah, like, because this is flat. Yeah, underground shit. I'm like, what the frick is happening? So anyway, so we start walking again, and all of a sudden the banging starts to hit real hard. And I look at my son, then we heard some coyotes too that further up. Yeah, because it's getting dust. Really now we got damn somebody banging on a mine shaft with a pipe. I don't know if they're trying to break out or some kind of shit. And then I hear some coyotes about half a mile away. And yes, I look at my son Kyler. You're gonna love this. I look at my son Kyler and I go, "What's wrong?" And he had this weird look at his face. He goes, "Dad." I go, "What?" He goes, and he was a tough boy. He was tough. You gotta remember, he is tough, little sucker. He never got fear of anything. I go, "What's wrong, Kyler?" He goes, "Dad, I just shit my pants." He did. I said, "What?" He goes, "Dad, I literally just shit my pants." I said, "Oh my God." He goes, "Dad, we need to get the hell out of here, man." And I said, "Okay, guys, don't panic." Now I get more of the story. I'm not done. So we're walking out of this forest, and one of my sons, he had shit his pants. He was so scared. So, I mean, seriously, this kid was because he played football and everything. He was a tough, like, sports job. Wait. So we get back to my truck, and by the time it's dark, and guess what? I had to call my mother, because that's a grandma of the kids. And I tell her, "Hey, Mom," I said, "we just got done fishing." I said, "I'm back home." And Kyler goes, "I got to tell Grandma what happened." I said, "What?" He goes, he goes, "Grandma," and my mother goes, "What, Kyler?" She goes, "Grandma," he goes, "I shit my pants." He said that. He goes, "You wouldn't believe it." He goes, "Oh, no, it's worse." No, he actually, at the same time when he shit his pants, he actually, he did something else. God, he goes, I can't remember. It was like he screamed and shit his pants at the same time. That's what he told me. He goes, because he did. He kind of made this squeal when he shit his pants. He goes, "Grandma," he goes, "I screamed and shit my pants at the same time." She means the story. Okay. Man, sorry, go ahead. So, poor kid. No wonder my kids don't want to be around me, bud.
The Orb Mountain, right? Okay, I'm going to talk to the guy. And now XE Ranch was closed. It was closed because it was winter.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was winter. But I want to check out these orbs. So now it's Mount Adams. Yeah. It's okay. So now, am I going to sit still because there's a road going up to the top of the mountain? Okay. So what am I gonna do?
Well, you're gonna walk it.
I'm gonna go to the frickin' top of that mountain. I'm gonna go up that mountain. I go, you betcha. So I frickin' driving up this frickin' Forest Service road. Okay. Right. This is where the orbs and the UFOs live. Right. Now listen to this. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm not kidding. Now I had a really nice frickin' digital camera.
Well, tell me to shit your pants. Go ahead.
This is $1,000.
Yeah.
This is $1,000 camera. Yeah. This camera, I got it on sale, but it was a nice digital camera. I mean, this thing was frickin' nice.
Yeah.
And then I had a okay. So then I had a flip phone camera too, right?
Yeah.
It's a flip phone camera. Okay, so I drive up the mountain. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the service road comes right up to near the top of the mountain, and then all of a sudden there's a blockade. You can't go any further. They don't want you. Yes. I mean, it was like the road was blocked. Okay, with trees and fucking, I mean, it was bad.
I'm going to tell you something about that. They
did not want anybody going any further. Yeah. Now, right to the left, right there, where the road kind of turned off to the left a little bit, yeah, there was a tent stop area. Now, out in the middle of the woods, it's got a fence that's about as big as a lot of a house. You know, it's like that big.
Yeah.
But there's trees in there. But it's just fence, a wooden fence, one of the wooden fences that are like the old style, you know, the wood fence.
Yep.
So now I go, why is this fenced off? That's not going to hold any animals. That fence is all.
It's to keep you in, brother.
What is this fence?
That's what you
now, wait a minute.
It's to keep you in, not out.
I just stopped. Now I'm going to take pictures. I got to take some pictures because I might see an orb.
The fence is to keep you in.
Why is this little circle fenced off?
To keep you in.
And there's all this, so I'm going to check it out.
Yeah.
So I freaking step over the fence.
Uh-oh, we got trapped here.
And it was fall, so there was real pretty fall leaves, you know, like yellow, you know, yellow and gold. It was real pretty, you know, like red leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm going to take a picture. That $1,000 camera didn't work.
Oh, God. Yeah. I know that happens right when you need it, yeah.
So a whole lot of it. So I'm like, now I'm getting kind of spooked. And I think, okay, well, I'm going to guess I'll go back down the hill then. Okay, now this is Mount Adams. I swear it's a volcano.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so now I'm freaking in the car. Now I'm regrouping, you know.
Yeah.
And I go, well, look down the road there. God, that's just really neat looking. It was like kind of sunset, you know, and the trees, you know, how they're lit up, you know, and it's like fall leaves. And the road was real straight. Like it was real straight down. You know, like it was dirt road.
Okay.
But there was trees on both sides. So now I still got my flip phone camera. So I said, oh, that's a pretty, you know, that's a beautiful scenery, right?
Yeah.
So I take a picture. Guess what?
There it comes out.
All the trees on the left-hand side of the road are all clear as a bell. They're just beautiful trees.
Yeah.
All the trees on the right-hand side of the road, where the fence was,
are dead.
It was all blurry, and you couldn't see nothing. It was all blurry.
Yeah, it was a photograph of the spiritual shit.
Holy shit, I'm out of here.
Oh my God.
And then, right up on that mountain, listen to me, Kirk. It gets better.
Story, though.
It gets better. I see a sign, and it says historic site or something. And I go, well, I got to check this out, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just right there. I mean, that's where it was, right?
Yeah.
And it was a tree. And so there was a sign, and nobody's around. It's in the forest. Here's this big giant tree. The largest, oldest ponderosa pine on Earth. And like, you can look it up.
Okay.
Look it up. Trout Lake, Washington.
Okay.
The largest ponderosa pine on Earth. And I'm like standing by this ponderosa pine looking around, and I go, you know, this is pretty spooky.
Yeah. I got a true story to tell you. So I live down.
Last one.
Okay.
Last
There's
one.
a Melissa that was
we gotta record this shit.
Okay,
we have to record this shit.
Yeah. No. Okay. There was one of my friends named Melissa, and after my divorce, she's just a friend, right? So she said, come out to Springfield, Missouri, and spend some time to get your sanity back. I was actually thinking about taking my kids there, too, you know, with the divorce and actually moving there. So I'm serious, because I need to get out of state and thought, you know, we could rebuild there. And so while I'm there, she has to work the whole time. So she says, oh, I said, what's some things to see around? There's not much in Springfield. She goes, well, they got this old, like, historical building, like used to be an old mansion downtown. And I said, oh, cool. I said, I'm into old antique mansions and stuff. I mean, you're so right. So I go down there, drive down there. She let me borrow a car, right? So I drive down there, and I get there, and you'll love the story. So I go into this tour group. They have about, oh my God, it was about 50 people who believe this. They did like an hour in there. So they did 50 at a time. So a ton of people, right? In this, and had this. So we go in there, and the first one of the rules is, guess what it is? They said no taking any photographs whatsoever. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. They said not even one. They said do not take one photograph. They said if you do, that we can eject you and all these threats. I'm like, God, they're staunchy about this one. Guess what? You know me. I'm holding my cell phone next to my chest and pushing photographs everywhere I can. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because they had this one thing. It had like this old like lobby, you know, where bookshelves, and they had this other section where the bedroom was weird. It was like a triangle and, you know, old time with wood. I mean, I'm loving this mansion. Just really classic stuff. Oh, they had a dance hall too. You know, like in the movie The Shining, where it shows them dancing in the front of the hotel in The Shining. They had that in this thing. They had all the old chandeliers, and they're saying how they used to bring in like even patients, or they had the big balls in Springfield were held there. You know, the high school balls, and even like the elite would have the Christmas holiday balls there. And in this mansion, a huge like floor. So anyway, I'm taking I'm heading with the story. I'm taking photographs, videos, and like, well, that's cool. And it's not keeping you get caught, because I'm sure I'd be in the back pushing the button. I didn't even know I was taking photographs of. I'm like, oh, this is cool, right? So then we get done with that, and then I go outside the building, and I start taking photographs of the building from the outside. I said, well, I'm going to take the outside of this damn mansion, because they didn't say I couldn't. There's something out front. They didn't say you couldn't take it out from the front, right, of the mansion. So I'm taking photographs of all the windows and stuff. And then I get in the vehicle, and I start. No, I don't think I looked at that evening. I went to Melissa back to her house, and we're sitting there. And that's right, because you know, it got to be dark. It was about 8 o'clock. No, about 7 o'clock when I got back to her house. We're sitting on the couch. I said, "Oh, I got to show you these photographs I took while I was there." Yeah, right. You'll love it. I look at the damn photographs, and the first ones, you know, going from backwards, you know, down. I looked at the photos I took at the front of the mansion. You got to realize, broad during the daylight. It was still like 5 o'clock in the summertime, you know, fully lit. And in the goddamn windows, you saw these damn like demons and ghosts looking out the damn window at me. I shit you not, looking out the fucking window. And she goes, "Oh my God, Kirk." I said, "Oh my God, I was with those damn things. It was in that damn room. They called it some weird room, like the red room, and frickin', you know, like the end of the horror." And I'm seriously, but there's one that had like this guy was like taking a damn knife, this spiritual apparition, and putting it around the neck of another one in one window. And she goes, "Holy shit." And when I'm zooming in on the phone, I said, "Oh my God." Those photographs had all these like demons and spiritual apparitions. I mean, looking out the damn window, I said, "They're staring at me." She goes, "No shit." You know, the one that had the knife behind somebody's neck, it's like he had this other, like he had this like spiritual, like this guy, and this other guy bent over on his damn knees and like right looking out at the window at me. Which was, I mean, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, seriously, I'm like, no wonder they didn't want you to take photographs. I'm like, no wonder they said no photographs.
That's what I was going to say.
You are kidding me. Oh my God.
They said no photographs.
They said that.
They said that.
Oh, and inside the places, I had some guy crawling through a goddamn hole that was a knock.
Okay, hold on. So Breezy and I are
oh my God, bud, it freaked me out.
We've got a girlfriend. I can't think of the name of the town. And then so coming into town, there's this big giant building. It's on the right.
Yeah. And
it was like this frickin' 1920s hospital or something, 1930s. You know, it's this huge building. It was a hospital. It was a big hospital, right? So it was Halloween. And so Breezy and I go into town, visit her friend and stuff. And then I said, "What's that big giant building coming into this town, little tiny town?" Gooding, Idaho, Gooding. And then so anyway, I go, "What's this big giant?" She goes, "Well, that was a big tuberculosis hospital. Thousands of people died there."
Oh my God.
And so
that's not good.
So I said, it's apartment buildings now. And I said,
now it's apartment buildings. Wonderful. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's Halloween. Come on, Breezy, let's go. So Breezy's in the back seat of the Firebird, and she's videotaping, and we're there. It's after dark now.
Oh,
and so we're driving beside this big building. It's all lit up because it was an apartments. You know, now it's apartment building, big one, big. Okay, so I said, "Yeah, Breezy, get a close-up of those windows." I said, "See those curtains?" And Breezy's like taking video. She's laughing in the back seat, and she's videotaping. And she shines it over. It's like Christmas lights were up. It's kind of winter. And then it was October. But there was like Christmas lights or something. You know, I remember there was Christmas lights, but it was Halloween.
Yeah.
And then so I said, "See those windows? See those curtains?" I said, "People hung themselves to death on those curtains."
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I said, you wait right here. We park at the front. It's like this big mansion, like you said, this huge building. And now it's apartment buildings, though. Apartment buildings, right? And it's known to be haunted. See, that's the deal.
Oh, crap. It is going to be haunted. Oh, I gotcha.
Right. So now I got to go in and check this out. So I said, you just wait right here. She goes, I'm not going in. I said, okay, I'm going to go in there and look around. So I walk into the main lobby, right? And there's tall, high ceilings, right? And all these rooms, they were apartments, but there was nobody around.
Oh, really?
There was nobody there. There was 100 cars out back, but I didn't see anybody in the hallways. So then I look, and they have like one of these big giant day room, like where the big day room, you know, that's got like a big day room.
Yeah.
There's one guy standing there. And so I walk up to him, you know, and I said, wow, look at this. Boy, this is neat. Look at all this old woodwork in here and stuff. And then I go, and he goes, yeah, I live here. Like we talk about, I've lived here a long time. And I said, yeah, that's what Breezy's friend said, that this place is haunted. And he goes, I've never heard about anything about it being a haunted house. And I said, and you live here? You live here and you've never heard of it ever? Heard of it being haunted? And he goes, no. And then I go like, oh
my goodness.
Okay, well, okay, you
now
have
you
a
just
nice time. Happy Halloween.
Oh, yeah,
Happy
now you
Halloween.
leave with this.
And then I walk back out to the car and I go, God, Breezy, I think I just spoke to a ghost.
You probably did. He probably was a ghost. What? I'm one of them. I see white people ghosts.
This guy was just standing there, and I said, well, look at all this neat old building, you know. They made it into an apartment building. It used to be a big old haunted hospital. It was tuberculosis hospital.
Whoa, my goodness.
Psych hospital, you know. It was a psychiatric hospital. And it was like, and I said to Breezy, I go, shit, Breezy, I freaking think I just spoke to a ghost. Because there was nobody in that building except this one guy standing there. And I asked him,
you probably was a damn ghost, man.
Fucking, I spoke to this guy. And he goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. No one can tell you. There's no ghost in here. Nothing spiritual.
Their friend lives here, the population 500, you know. I said, it's a little farm town. It's off the highway, you know. And I said, yeah, but everybody in town knows that this used to be a haunted house, haunted building. You can look it up online. Tuberculosis hospital. And this guy says, I don't know anything about it. And he lived there.
You know, that, you know, there was, you never know, right? Because we don't know everything. That's just going to ask you, because my dad was a professor. He owned a photograph studio in Montrose, a small photograph studio. And he had a weird request one time. This is weird, man, because, you know, people usually hire a photographer. They do it for weddings or, you know, high school graduation photos or, you know, proposals for marriage. So he gets this proposal. No, they asked him to come photograph a funeral. And my dad's like, I've never done one of those. This is like the damn Addams Family or something, right? Not kidding you. Weird, like the Burbs. My dad's like, I remember he comes home one night and he's like, he tells my mother, he goes, yeah, he goes, I have to do a funeral. He goes, never, because he's done this for, like, you got to realize, for 15 years. He used to do it in different places. He was in Montrose. He's like, I actually have to go take photographs at a funeral. Him is the story. And my mother's like, really? He goes, yeah, they want photographs of the damn funeral. He goes, I asked him why. They said because some of the family members couldn't attend it, so they wanted to send the photographs to other people. Now they actually, people videotape this. I don't know if you heard this. They do online funeral service, which you can understand maybe a video, but taking photographs, they're going to keep the damn shit, that's a little weird, right? I guess the story. So he's in there taking photographs of the damn service and the funeral, right, and all this shit. Because they did have VCRs when he was doing this, by this. This was back in the 80s. He could have videotaped, but they said they wanted photographs, right? Well, this is what's damn weird. This is going to blow your damn mind. So he's there, and kid you not, so they went to the cemetery. You know, now he's like, oh, this is weird. I got to take photographs of him putting the body, you know, the casket in the damn hole. Yeah, they said, we want photographs of this. He said, no, kid you not, they actually start filling the dirt because they do it right away, you know, sometimes. They don't wait for the people to leave. So I'm telling you, this story's going to blow your damn mind. Okay, so they do the survey. He's taking, out there, the whatever you call out there when they're, and they put the casket in there, and they said they start shoveling the dirt in with the, little lawn thing, backhoe, right? And the family stand back, and so he takes a photograph of.
Wait a minute, the family are standing there while they're.
Yes, weird shit. Yes, back away from. Yes, weird. Back away from the thing, right? So he doesn't have the shovel coming in on the damn thing. Well, I'm having some story.
They're making sure that the guy is breaking into the ground.
They're watching the damn dirt, like, weird shit, right? So he's still there taking. So he snaps a photograph, and he doesn't even. So then he leaves, right? So the next day he has developed, right, all these photographs, and he's going to give it to the family. That and he's looking through them, and he looks at the damn one where they'd had the dirt, starting to cover over the damn the casket stuff. Yeah. There is a damn a spirit of this guy, shit you not, coming out of the damn above the casket, clear as a bell. And my dad freaks out. He said, my dad was not very supernatural, by the way. He loses his damn mind. He's like, why is there a damn ghost coming out above the damn casket? On film. It was like a apparition.
It was like you could see through the. You could see, it was like a.
Yeah, he said it was like lit like a white. It was whitish. I never saw it. My mother said she didn't want to show us because we're young. She didn't want to freak us out. But he actually showed her to it, and she goes, "Kirk, you would not believe saying it looked like a wisp of smoke, kind of like white smoke, and it had the formation of this guy's body and his head coming above, floating above the damn ground, even above the above the ground and everything." And I said, "Whoa." So he said he never did again. He said it freaked him out, my dad. You are shitting.
Now wait a minute. I can't
weird.
Think.
Go ahead.
I can't think as fast as you.
Okay.
So now I got 3 quick ones.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go see Amy's grave because I never went to her gravesite. Okay, I went to the funeral, but I didn't go where they buried it. Right? Okay, long story short. Okay, so we got a lot of cemeteries here. This is a big town. Mm-hmm. They're big cemeteries. They're not little.
Oh, yeah. They've been around.
So now I'm standing there in front of Amy's grave. She was so sweet. She died when she was 39.
Yeah.
She was just wonderful. I just loved her. All right, so I'm standing there talking to her. How you are. You're standing in front of a grave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just standing there. And I said, God, Amy, I just miss you. Shit, honey, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
I look over to the left, and about 5 tombstones down is my biological father's grave.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
You're getting that close,
This is not a town of 500. There's 300,000 people in this valley.
So you didn't know the plot layout was getting that close.
And they buried Amy right next to my biological dad.
Oh, my goodness, that close.
Next to it.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's another one. So that I had a Fred Shadow. He was so cool. And then he said he worked for a cemetery for a little while. Mm-hmm. And then, so anyway, he goes, they were burying the, like you said, after the family left.
Yeah.
Then they're burying the guy, So they have the casket, and they have it on this forklift, and the casket slipped off the forklift.
Yeah.
And frickin' hit the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
And popped open.
Oh, that's awful. I've heard these stories happening. It's rare. And
then they frickin' didn't tell anybody, and they put the body back in the casket and frickin' didn't tell nobody.
My goodness.
But that's spooky. Now, what more?
Well, then I got to tell you about The Shining, the Stanley Hotel was filmed off of. I went to investigate.
I'll forget. Another cemetery story. Yeah. Shit. Okay, stop. Okay, we were talking about pictures, and then there was the... Damn it. Oh, no. Well, last summer. Well,
then I can tell you. Let me tell you.
One. No.
Well, then I can tell you The Shining.
These are great stories to tell by the fireside.
I'd scare how you told the Stanley Hotel one.
Instead sitting around a fire camping, telling these stories, Ed, with his freaking out.
Well, did I ever tell you about the Stanley Hotel that Shining's based off of Stephen King? That's a real story. He stayed there. Did I tell you that story that I went there to investigate, spiritual investigation? And they had 14 high school students follow me, and also some employees. Did I tell you about that story? I went in there to investigate, and it's some crazy crap. Did I tell you about that?
The mirrors?
No, the Stanley Hotel. No, the Stanley Hotel, The Shining, the movie The Shining is based off of.
Yeah.
It's a real Stanley Hotel, and Stephen King actually stayed there and wrote his book based off of his experience while he was there. It's a true story.
Oh.
Did I ever tell you? And so I went and investigated it about 4 years ago. I went, and I actually had some crazy crap that happened. Did I tell you what happened? You ought to hear the story. Okay, I'll tell you quick. It was about, I thought it'd be kind of cool. I was at, it was about 3 days before Halloween. I thought, that'd be cool. I'm going to stay in the hotel and investigate this thing. No, it was actually 2 days before Halloween, right? So I go drive down there to stay in the hotel. It's way up in Netherlands, Colorado. Netherlands? No, not Netherlands. Yes, no, it's, shoot. Well, anyway, wherever, the Stanley Hotel, yeah. So the story was true that Stephen King actually stayed there. They were on the edge of being demolished, and there was a black guy in the movie that was caretaking the hotel. And it was in the winter. The winter had just started, and he was driving. He was in Denver, and his wife, she was. He said he was going to go. They couldn't find a place to stay because everything was booked out. Apparently, they were near Golden or something. So she was in Golden, and they only had like one room left or hotel. So he said, I'm going to go over to Boulder, and so I'm going to go over there and see if we can find something to stay at, because they didn't want to stay in Golden or something, right? So he drives over to up there into the Netherlands. God darn, I can't remember. I'm just tired or something. Anyway, so he drives up in there into a small town, and the Stanley Hotel is there, right? And so the guy, the caretaker black guy is there, and he goes, can I stay here? And he goes, no. And he goes, no, with this was last season. They're actually thinking about demolishing. They're trying to sell it right now and demolish the whole thing, or just get rid of it. And he goes, well, can I stay here? And he goes, well, he said, I don't know. He goes, I'll pay you for 4 nights if I can. And he goes, well, he said, let me check. So he said the guy comes back from him and says, you know what? Go ahead. It's just going to be you. He goes, yeah, just me. He goes, I might bring my family later. I guess he had 2 daughters, which I didn't know. He goes, like in the movie, he has 2 daughters. I didn't know this. So his 2 daughters with his wife. So he stays the night there, right? And his daughters and his wife stay at this in Golden, right? In a hotel or something, right? So he stays there, and apparently that this guy even talked about The Shining. He goes, this place has The Shining. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, you'll find out. He goes, you stay here tonight, you'll find out. So he stays in the damn room where Jack Nicholson breaks down. It's a room 216 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, yeah, I know.
Or 2, whatever it is. He actually stays in that same damn room, right? Boy. So apparently while he's there, he has a vision. He has a dream and a vision. He said it was so real, but it wasn't. Of a serpent coming down the hallway, a serpent, like a dragon serpent snake, not a dragon, a snake. And he says he sees his 2 daughters, and the snake was coming after his 2 daughters. That's in the damn movie. Those are actually his 2 daughters, apparently. And it scares him because it's going to try to eat him or something. So he sees all these things, and we don't know all of what he disclosed, but that's where he wrote the story. But anyway, I guess he called his wife and they somehow got to stay. I don't know. They stayed somewhere in Golden the whole 4 days. So he stayed there 4 nights. Well, anyway, so that's how the damn story. It was a real story, and this black guy was really a real guy. You kidding me? So anyway, so here's more of the story though. So I went there to investigate all this, right? And I get there. Yeah, you know me, right? And I'm not kidding you. And so I come in there, and I noticed right away that I kept feeling these like cold air spells around me. They're like trying to suck my energy. And I don't know if demons somehow they can suck your energy. And I kept feeling these cold spots. So they kept moving around me, right? And so then there was like these high school students that they had booked some rooms there. And I was talking to employees, asking questions. I said, "Is this place really haunted?" And one of them says, "Well, you'll find out, right?" So So I told the high school students I found them up the second floor near the Stephen King room that everybody knows. Was it 290? I can't remember what the number is. Anyway, and I said, I'm a spiritual investigator. I'm gonna do some investigation. I said, can we follow you? I said, sure. And this true story, brother, you ready for this? That we go up to this room. It's off to the corner in a hallway, all by itself. And they intentionally do not book it, by the way. They don't let anybody stay in it because they said they always had problems, people knocking on the door, and the people who don't stay, they said it's never comfortable there. So they never rent it out, right? So guess what? So we go up to the door, and they're like, what should we do? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, I'll tell you what. I told this guy, I said to this guy, I said, let's go in and see, because, I said, there's no cameras here. So I go up there and jiggle on the door handle, and you can't get in. But it sounds like the TV's on or something. I said, guys, I'm like, I said, it sounds like the damn TV's on. I said, I thought they said nobody's staying in there. It sounded like somebody's watching TV, right? I'm like, and you got to realize there's like 14 high school students. I told this guy, I said, well, should we knock? That's what I said there. They're like, you're going to knock? I said, yeah. I'm going to see if they open the door. And they all back up. I mean, they're like 10 feet behind me in this little hallway. Yeah, they're like, it's recessed in this door. So you got to realize there's 5 feet. It's like its own little hallway into this door, like 5 feet into this. And there's like 10 feet back. And they said, you're going to knock. I said, yes, I'm going to knock. And they said, no way. I said, yes, I am.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try not to laugh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I said, I'm going to knock. And I said, you ready? And they all like look at me. They're all like hunched over, like just frozen, right? And I'm not kidding you. I knock. I go the special go. That knock,
Okay.
You love this. Guess what happens? I shit you not, brother. A knock comes back, goes on the other side. I said, holy shit. They all take off running. I mean, seriously, they're running. And I move fast too. It scared me because I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, seriously. So I follow them down the damn hallway, the main hallway. I'm like, oh my God, guys. So we meet about halfway down the damn other hallway, about 50 rooms down this other hallway. I said, oh my God, guys. And the guy goes, do you think somebody's in there? I said, oh no, there's supposed to be nobody in there. I said, you are kidding me. I said, somebody knocked back. And they said there's nobody in there. They said they never book it out.
Okay.
Wait, I'm not doing the story.
Is that it?
No, we're not done.
Knocked again.
No, I was done, brother. No, I was done, man. I had to. I was new to this God and spiritual and Lord things. I was scared out of my mind of myself. I couldn't play cool.
I know you're tired. I know you're tired, but I gotta have 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, let me finish the story. Let me finish. You gotta love the rest of it.
1 minute.
1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I understand what happened.
No, 1 minute. No. You gotta give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
I gotta finish the story.
That's what I asked. 1 minute. Can you listen for 1 minute?
Well, you let me have to finish another time.
What are the odds of this? There's no room. We were going down to Hot August Nights. Glenn and Jody, they were in their car, Camaro. Amy and I are in our car.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little towns between here and frickin' Reno. I mean, a lot. And it takes a while to get there. You can stop halfway. So we're going to stop. We're going to get a room in a little tiny town out in the middle of frickin' nowhere in Nevada. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we pull in. It was a little town, remember, there's a whole lot of little towns. Now tell me the odds of this. Tell me what the odds are. Glenn and Jody, they had their Chevelle. Okay? They had the Chevelle. So we left at different time, though.
Yeah.
But pretty close, the same day. We left the same day. We were just going to meet the next day.
Yeah.
So it's like, so halfway there, I'm like, Amy, what we'll do is we'll just get a room since there's no rooms, like you said, in Reno.
Yeah.
There's no rooms available because the thing is huge. So it's like, so we're going to get a little room just about 100 miles out of town, and we'll just stay here tonight, and then we'll wake up tomorrow and we'll be fresh, and then we won't have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I come into Reno and it'd be like morning, And then, so I'm going to have a smoke. So I step out of the hotel room, and we're up on the upper floor on the balcony. And I go, I'm going to step out for a smoke, Amy. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I step out for a smoke, and I look to the left, and about 10 rooms down, frickin' Glenn is standing out on the balcony. And I go, what the hell are you doing here? Glenn and Jody got a room in the same hotel in the same tiny little town, 100 miles out of Reno.
Whoa.
And the odds are frickin' astronomical.
That's that timing sequence thing.
Now, remember, the last time we spoke, we had to get going stuff, and I told you I got a Satanist gave me a Christmas present.
All right.
Okay.
I
told you, I said I got his card.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have time. Now I'm going to read you this card. Boise, Idaho, Paranormal Society.
Oh, goodness.
ABYSSAL in real fancy letters.
What?
Guess what color the card is?
Purple.
Purple.
Oh,
okay. His name's Sean Davis, lead investigator.
Oh,
here's his phone number, ABYSSAL paranormal.com. That's who gave me my frickin' free beer for Christmas. Free beer for Christmas.
The satanic Satanist that had the Baphomet tattooed on it.
Cards? Did you have business cards?
No, should I get myself some Baphomet business cards? So I work for Satan. Can you buy me a beer? Because I work for Satan.
Golly,
you tell the dark side, brother. Okay.
These are funny stories.
I know. Okay, I got more. You let me finish the Shining. I will finish it next time because I'm tired. There's more to the story. I can prove to you that place, and I explain to you the mirrors and what's happening, how Ghost got trapped. I will explain
back to the room. I would have went back to the room.
Well, I know. I didn't finish the story.
You're chicken.
We will finish the story because I'm tired. But I'm going to tell you, I can tell you there is. I was only about a half of the story, and you would not believe the rest of the story. I had actually decoded, like Matt. I know how is it decoded reality. I decoded what is happening in Stanley Hotel and why there's apparitions or demons there. I can explain it all to you. I'm the only one that knew it, and then I actually exposed it to some people in Colorado. And a lady wrote a book about it, she didn't explain all of it. She explained how the place is haunted. And that darn lady, I should have kept it secret. I'm not kidding, it's a true story. She read what I wrote and wrote a book on it and sold a ton of them. And because she found out through me. And because I investigated. Yeah, I'm not kidding, true story. 6 months after I investigated, because I even told the employees, and was telling everybody in Colorado, I decoded the what was happening at the Stanley Hotel and why it's haunted, and I'll explain to you next time. And I decoded the whole thing, what was happening, and she wrote a whole damn book on it. Shit, you not. Like a 200-page book.
Decode what?
What?
Decode, what do you mean
decode? Why it's haunted. Why it's haunted.
Well, why?
Well, okay, you want to hear it? Then I got to say it. Because I noticed that there are mirrors in the hallways facing each other, and that's a false light. So if you are a ghost, apparition, or demon, you look in the mirror, it's a false light goes to infinity. You can see yourself over and over again to infinity. So they get trapped. They don't know where to go. Because I told you in the Jewish religion that if they said that if you pass away, that they cover the mirrors, because if you cover the mirrors, they said that way your spirit doesn't, so that's what the problem was. The mirrors, they bounce back and forth. So they go to like a line in the sand. They look back and forth and go, where do I go? I don't see the light. They get confused. So they get stuck there. And there was mirrors everywhere. Even in the main entryway, there's mirrors. You even said the Mormons have mirrors. There's something about mirrors, like Magic mirrors. Yeah, they had mirrors that bounced back. And I saw they had mirrors at every floor. So that was why the damn things are like Hotel California. Once you check in, you cannot get out. Now, I don't know about Lost Souls. I think it's real.
I've seen that Shining movie I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
And, he's going out of his mind. And he's stomping up the hallway, right? Yeah. And there's mirrors on both sides of the hallway.
What, in the Stanley Hotel? In the movie?
In the Shining movie.
I didn't notice there was. In the real hotel, there are two there. They're there.
He's like swearing, and he's freaking
I don't remember the mirrors being in the hallway. Are you sure?
He's going down the hallway.
I didn't know this. I saw him going there, yeah?
He is going down the hallway.
I'm going to look at it then.
And then he is angry. He's real angry. His hair's all messed up.
Yeah.
And he's swearing. He's just like,
all he did in murder, Red Rum in reverse.
And then as he's walking towards you, you know how on both sides of the walls in that hallway are mirrors facing each other.
See, they have the same thing in the Stanley Hotel. I did not know this. The real one. It's called the Overlook. But anyway, I did not know that because I never noticed it in the movie, but I just noticed it when I was there. I said, God, I'm looking at myself in the mirror twice. So somebody knew this, right? And so that's why I said he based the whole damn thing. He probably wrote that in there because he was there and said, why are there mirrors in the damn hallways? See, that guy did not write the story. Just
yeah, wait a minute. Why would there be mirrors?
I just told you because it bounces to infinity. If you put two mirrors together, the light backs back and forth. So if you look at yourself in the mirror, as the story goes, you see yourself and you get confused. Why am I seeing myself over and over again?
I only got one mirror.
Now, I actually did some research on that. They said if you stare into a mirror, that okay, I'm going to do a video on this. It's called you see, when you look in a mirror, it's there's more to the story that we didn't know about. That the reflection is it's actually not your true image of yourself. And they said if you stare in a mirror long enough, that demons and apparitions can actually appear in the mirror.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, no, it's not called a true mirror. It's it's the opposite, exactly.
But when you look
your
in
left
the mirror,
is right and right is left.
But when you look in the mirror, you like what you see, right? Because it's a good guy,
but see, you don't know what you look like.
But guess what?
What?
Guess what? That's the opposite of you. You're evil as shit.
Yeah, it's two-dimensional. Exactly. Exactly what you said.
But I told you about that, what happened to me. And
you're of a true mirror.
I kept telling everybody.
Yeah.
I said, are my eyes look okay to you?
You look evil?
And then listen, I said, do my eyes look normal? I said, because this was years ago. And when I would look in a mirror, I would look in the eyes of my reflection, and it was like the most evil-looking eyes I've ever seen. And I looked at other people, and I go, man, do I look all right to you? Because I'm telling you what, when I look in a mirror, my eyes look so dark and evil.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Now, you know this guy?
We got to run.
Okay.
Okay. We will do this, and guess what?
We got to record these.
Guess what? I recorded it.
No.
You didn't hear me. I did recorded it. The whole thing. The whole thing's recorded.
What?
I recorded the whole thing.
Me laughing my ass off?
Yes. It's recorded.
All right.
So that's why we got to record this because we can actually, it's funny as hell. All right?
Okay, that's all right.
I know. No, I won't.
I'll sign a release. Just send me the paperwork.
All right. No, anyway. So you have a good night. Thanks, you brother.
We got to copyright this shit.
We do. People will be blown away. I'm not kidding. But I didn't finish the Stand Hotel. There's more to the story. There's more to the whole damn night. I actually found other rooms that were haunted. There was room number 414 is haunted as well.
Are you recording right now?
Yes.
All right.
Room 414 is actually haunted. And I also talked to employees, and they
hour-long YouTube video. Put the title of this conversation we're having here.
What do we call it?
Put the title, Tall Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, I will. I will. But I'm not kidding. I didn't even finish the Stand Hotel story because you would not believe what happens. I actually tried to talk to the owner. He's an atheist. And I ain't trying to talk to the owner, and he does not. It's a long story. But this story doesn't even finish. I'm about 1/10 of the way into the whole story of the Stand Hotel investigation. All right.
People are going to be calling my new famous pal.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it Tales from the Crypt and the Dark Side. Or no. There's also the one that was Tales from the Crypt. There's also the one that's called there was the other one they used to run. It's called the Dark. What was it? The Dark. What was the other one? Tales of the Crypt. What was the other one they used to run?
No.
There's one called the Dark Side. What was the Dark Side?
Shadows.
Well, all right, okay. Well, you have a good night, and we're gonna have to do some more video. But I got more stories. I mean, people haven't even heard our stories, and yours as well. You got stories like these go on and on and on.
Here's how you want to do the intro, though.
You can do movies. You can do movies and stuff. You know that I can do. There's the thing is, I'm gonna tell you a story.
You want to go? Cuddle up with it. Cuddle up.
Did you know that I got a movie?
Turn out all the lights.
Only God wants it to. What happened, brother?
What you're about ready to hear.
I could write a movie about God that will blow your mind.
You're going to tell.
That nobody's ever.
You got to say it like this.
Yeah.
What you're going to hear is an hour-long conversation of Raleigh and I talking about
the dark
tales from the dark.
I like it. All right. Tales from the. All right. Okay, Tales from the Dark Side. What was the other one that said? Tales from the Crypt? The other one was Tales from the Dark Side. There was both of them, right? Tales from the Crypt and Tales from the Dark Side. You're right.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, we're right.
All right, we have to do more of these.
No. Tales from the Dark Crypt.
Oh, Tales from the Dark Crypt. I like that better. All right. Take care, brother. All right. See you later, man. Have a good night. I'm exhausted.